Mayfield manager Seamus Lawton, it's the final week of your build-up to the All-Ireland Club final. How's it going?
It's going well, Lisa. We're on wind down now. I suppose we've trained tonight and we'll meet Thursday night. It's been 3 weeks since the semi-final, so we've had good preparation since. We had recoveries. The first week, I suppose, we were recovering really, and then we played a match and got back into serious training last week and trained on Saturday, and we're ready to go.
I would imagine as a manager, as a panel, this is the easiest time ever to train when you're training for the ultimate goal.
It is, yeah. Like you don't have to think about motivation for players or anything like that. There's no worry about them not turning up. The attendance has been 100% with months at this stage, so you can forget about all that. I suppose it's just getting the small things right and getting the lads prepared for what's ahead.
And that preparation, has it gone well? Have any hiccups, any blips along the way?
The last few weeks, no, not really. I can't say we've any excuses really. We're going to be ready to go and really looking forward to it.
And the guys have given you a lot to think about on team selection even, I'd imagine, because everyone wants to get that run in Croke Park.
Yes, most definitely. That's the biggest challenge, I suppose. There's going to be disappointments because there's players won't make it that have been making it, and they're the choices. That's why the job is there for the selectors, and that's what we have to do.
So, it was a fantastic performance against that Colliery St. Joseph side who were dogged enough in the first half. We discussed that on the day in the semi-final win. What did you take from that performance in trying to bring and build on that performance? Yeah,
that was as we thought going up there. Like there was a lot of pressure on us going up there because we were raging hot favourites, which brings pressure in itself. So we knew we had our homework done and we knew we were up against a real tough side. They had 8 players that had played with Sligo senior team. So we knew that these were inter-county players and they had played in Croke Park and they had that experience behind them. So once we got up there and we knew it in the first, the long bus journey, it all comes into it. And when we got out in the field, really for the first 20 minutes, we were under pressure, and they really hit us hard and fair, and they were physical. But the lads stood up to it well and responded well. And I think from 20 minutes on, we began to hurl a bit, and then we putting over a few points and we got a soft goal. There's no doubt. They got a man sent off, so the game was kind of over then, really.
Not to discredit the venue that game was in, but when you go to Croke Park, no matter what the weather will be like, conditions will be excellent, and it's a wide open pitch. How do you think the guys will respond to the venue and the whole occasion?
Again, it's impossible to know. We've prepared well for it. We know the type of pitch it is, and that it's going to be different to anything else we've ever played. We've trained on similar pitches, but you can't replicate the real thing, and you can't replicate how players are going to react. We prepared. We've spoken about it. We don't know till the ball is thrown in what way it's going to be. And
are the lads fairly relaxed, or how are they?
They are. Like they've been through a lot. As I said to them, really, we've played a lot of big games this year. I suppose, look, in reality, the biggest game we played was the county final, and we performed excellently that day. We played the city final. That was another huge game, like the Munster final, and this is the All-Ireland final. So they've been all big games, one as big as the other, and so we have played big games. So that has to stand to us.
And you're unbeaten in 11 matches now, we'll say, in that journey to this Croke Park decider. Like, especially with that county final win over SARS, if you hadn't won on that day, you would have progressed. But I'd say that run of confidence that you have is superb.
Yeah, again, you don't know from game to game because, you can just play poorly on the day. You can prepare properly, you think. But again, as I said already, you don't know till the ball is thrown in. And, we have the experience behind us of playing all those big games, so that is going to be a help to us.
So this Mooncoin outfit from Kilkenny, what do we know about them?
They're a very good side. We've seen them, we've studied them. They're all good hurlers. They're hurlers in every position in the field. They're good strikers. They have a set pattern of play, and they're going to be tough, like really tough. We know that,
They had a very comprehensive win in their semi-final, as opposed to, I suppose, yourselves having to fight it out a little bit more.
Yeah, Liam Derrick, they were expected to give Mooncoin a big game, but it didn't materialise. You ended up with they scored 5 goals, Mooncoin, so like that's something we'll have to prepare for, that they get a good start and that game was over early. So that's something we have to think about.
There are Kilkenny teams, they won't be underestimated, but Cork junior teams have a good record in this championship too.
Yes, Cork junior team has a good record over the last number of years, and we hope to carry that on Saturday.
What's your biggest challenge this week, Seamus, in preparing the team for? Is it the fact that it's such a big occasion?
Yeah, that's one of the challenges, I suppose, just to get everything right, to be organised properly, to pick the team, to name the team, and the hardest part is disappointing people, really. You know what I mean? This is a huge occasion. It's a huge occasion for the people in Mayfield, huge occasion for the club, and we have to tell some players they won't be playing, and that's hard.
We've been down around the club in the build-up and you can feel it. The supporters are really buying into everything that's going on in the build-up, and obviously you drive around the area and you can see the clubs and the banners and the signs and everything. It's the whole community has bought into what the team have done for them.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm not from the area, but I can nearly appreciate it more because I come in and drive around the place and see the flags and talk to the people and just see what it means to every one of them. And they've got behind us from an early part of the year, and it's really brilliant when you hear the roar, especially in Mallow in the Munster final, when the first ball went over the bar. It was a lift. You could feel the hair raising the back of your neck. It was really good to have that support, and they've been with us since. And I think this is fantastic. And there's a huge crowd going on Saturday. There's 2 trains, and 2 trains full. And I'd say they could have filled another one and a lot of people going by bus, by car. Mayfield are going to have a couple of thousand people there, and that's fantastic.
The very best of luck to you.
Thanks, Lisa.